Why should anyone even want to become a Dutch citizen? Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Josephine. I'm a YouTuber based in Delft, Netherlands. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back, okay? Thank you so much for all your love and support. It means so much to me, okay? Okay guys, so in today's video, we will be addressing Dutch citizenship, okay? This topic is one of my most asked questions on my social media platform. So a lot of people come to me asking, will I ever consider Dutch citizenship? How do I become a Dutch citizen? How long will it take me? And whatnot. Listen, so in this video, we'll be addressing all these questions, okay? We'll be diving into the good side, the bad side, and the ugly side of becoming Dutch. Okay, so get your juice, get your wine, get everything you need ready, and let's get into this video, okay? So I went straight up to the IND website. IND is the Dutch Immigration Agency. So I just went to their website and tried to find everything I could see regarding Dutch citizenship. And according to their website, you can only become Dutch if you meet 3 criteria. So the first criteria is that you were born Dutch. That means as at the time of your birth, at least one of your parents was a Dutch citizen. In that case, you can automatically apply for a Dutch passport and you automatically become a Dutch citizen, okay? Now, the second way that you can become Dutch is citizenship by the option. Now, this option procedure covers a whole bunch of scenarios. One of them is if you were born in the Kingdom of the Netherlands, which includes the Netherlands and other islands, including Curacao, Aruba, or St. Martin, and you've been living in this country since you were born, you can apply for the Dutch citizenship by option. Now, another case where you can apply for Dutch citizenship by option is if you were formerly a Dutch citizen and for some reason maybe you lost it. I'll go into details as to how you can actually lose your Dutch citizenship. But if for some reason you lost your Dutch citizenship and you want to regain that citizenship, then you can apply for citizenship by option. Another possibility is when you are married to a Dutch national and you and that person have lived together for at least 3 years, then you can be qualified to apply for Dutch citizenship by option. Now, the last way of becoming Dutch, which is the most common way, especially if you were not born Dutch, is through naturalization. To be able to become Dutch through naturalization, you really need to meet specific criteria. The first one being that you have lived in the Netherlands for at least 5 years, okay? Please, if you're considering Dutch citizenship by naturalization, then you can also check the link in the description. Having said that, I've also heard people ask me if you can get Dutch citizenship by investment, okay? In my opinion, there is nothing like Dutch citizenship by investment. However, you can get a residence permit by investment, and to be able to qualify for this residence permit, you must invest at least 1.25 million euros into the Dutch economy. Now, let's just get into the nitty-gritty of this video, okay, which is the good, the bad, and the ugly side of becoming a Dutch citizen. Now, the first thing I'm going to address is the good side, okay? Why should anyone even want to become a Dutch citizen? Okay, the first thing that I would say is that becoming a Dutch citizen, you become qualified to hold a Dutch passport. Dutch passport gives you a legal right to stay in the Netherlands without any restrictions. Now, bear in mind that the Netherlands ranks amongst the top 10 countries with the best quality of life in the world. Listen guys, that is not me talking. I did not come up with these numbers. I'm going to put the link in the description. So we do have like some index that monitors the quality of life in different countries, and to be able to do this, they consider so many things: education system, how happy those people are, how wealthy, the GDP of the country, security, safety. A lot of factors are being considered. Now, the Netherlands is a wealthy country. The educational system is quite good. The quality of life is quite good. Even as someone who is not a Dutch citizen and have lived here for 3 years, I can tell once I travel to other countries, I definitely can tell the difference in the quality of life, in the way things are being run. Okay, another benefit is that the Dutch passport is currently ranked 4th amongst global passports. This ranking is due to the global entry that it guarantees to Dutch passport holders. At the moment, Dutch passport holders may travel visa-free to 191 countries in the world. There are only 25 countries in the world that a Dutch passport holder needs a visa to enter. That is amazing. That is amazing, amazing. Now, another benefit of becoming a Dutch citizen is that you no longer need a residence permit to live and work in the Netherlands. I think I've mentioned this earlier on. At least you can now become an integral part of the society without needing a residence permit. So if you're looking for a job, you can easily switch jobs, even though the job does not sponsor your visa. That's okay, because you have your legal right to stay in the Netherlands. Okay, now another benefit of owning a Dutch passport is that you can now vote in Dutch elections. Okay, if you own a residence permit in the Netherlands, you need to have stayed in the Netherlands for at least 5 years before you are qualified to vote in Dutch elections. However, if you're already a Dutch citizen, you do not need to meet that criteria. Again, being a Dutch citizen, you are also an EU citizen, which means that you have access to other European countries, and also you can vote in European elections. Okay, it's also easier for you to move to another country within the EU and settle in there without needing like additional residence permits and stuff like that, because you're an EU citizen. Okay, now another benefit that for me is really important is that with your Dutch citizenship, you are now allowed to work in public offices. That means you can contest to be the mayor, you can become a police officer, you can become a soldier or a judge. Okay, now if you're a Dutch citizen, do let me know in the comment section if there are some other benefits that I'm missing out in this video, or if there's something else that I said here that you said, wait a minute, that's not quite right, or that's not quite complete. Let me know in the comment section. Okay, now moving on, let us go to the bad side of becoming Dutch. Listen guys, everything that has a good side, in my opinion, most of the times would have the other side. Okay, the first other side of being Dutch is that becoming a Dutch citizen, especially through naturalization, is a very expensive process. Okay, first of all, the cost of even applying for the naturalization process is about 900 euros or even more. That is excluding the cost of writing the Dutch integration exam, which could cost you somewhere around 250 to 300 euros, or the cost of learning the Dutch language, which is significantly expensive, especially if you had no idea how to speak Dutch and you now want to learn. These costs can be up to 2,000 euros. Easily, I mean easy when it comes to learning Dutch alone. Then you talk about the cost of applying for the Dutch passport if you are granted citizenship by naturalization. Then you talk about the cost of renouncing your citizenship. I'm going to go into details about renunciation, which is another side. Okay, but the cost of becoming Dutch can range easily between 2,000 to 5,000 euros or even more, depending on your personal situation. So yeah, if you are ever considering becoming Dutch, make sure you have your money ready. Okay, now another side of being Dutch is obviously the time it takes. So the procedure of applying for naturalization and then also renunciation, it could easily take from 6 months to 2 years, depending on your own personal situation. On the average, I think it takes about 18 months, but yeah, that is also another side of becoming Dutch. Now let's talk about the ugly side of becoming Dutch, especially through naturalization. Okay, one major requirement of taking up the Dutch citizenship by naturalization is that you have to give up the citizenship that you already own. For instance, I'm Nigerian, and if I ever want to obtain Dutch citizenship by naturalization, I have to give up my Nigerian citizenship to be able to do that. Yeah, even though I absolutely love this country, once it comes to having to trade Nigerian passport for the Dutch passport, it becomes a difficult decision because obviously I was born and raised in Nigeria. I spent the first 25 years of my life in Nigeria. So giving up the Nigerian passport is just such a difficult, it's like giving up a part of my identity. So yeah, that's an ugly side in my opinion, considering the fact that so many countries in the world allow you to hold dual citizenship, especially if it's the nationality that you got by birth. Bear in mind that there are a few exceptions, okay? First exception that I know about is if your country do not allow you to renounce your citizenship. Now, there are a few countries in the world that do not allow you to renounce your citizenship, especially if you obtained it by birth. If you are from such country, then you are allowed to hold dual citizenship. So you are not, you're not requested to renounce your citizenship. Now, another scenario where you can hold dual citizenship is if renouncing the citizenship you already have is going to cost you a significant amount of money, or is going to make you lose something of a significant value. In most cases, it's a case of maybe if you have an inheritance or a title or something of inestimable value that you would lose if you ever renounce the citizenship that you hold, and you are able to prove this during your application, then maybe you'll be given a chance to hold dual citizenship. Okay, another exception for this is if you are married to a Dutch citizen. If you're married to a Dutch citizen, or you are a registered partner to a Dutch citizen, then you do not need to renounce your citizenship. Okay guys, so the second ugly is that you can still lose your Dutch citizenship. So just because you obtained your citizenship through naturalization doesn't mean that you have the right to become Dutch for the rest of your life, okay? There are a few situations where you can lose your Dutch citizenship. The first one is if you ever committed a hideous crime, which was what I saw on the website, and I'm like, okay, what do you mean by hideous crime? I don't know. Then you could lose your Dutch citizenship, okay? Now, another scenario is if you were fraudulent during the application process. So for some reason, if you submitted maybe documents that were falsified, or you lied about something during the application, and maybe they find out in the future, then you can lose that Dutch citizenship, which is understandable in my opinion, because you obtained the citizenship falsely. So now the last reason why you can lose your Dutch citizenship is if you ever obtain citizenship for another country through naturalization, you automatically lose your Dutch citizenship. And it doesn't matter whether you are still resident in the Netherlands or you're resident in another country. To me, this is the easiest way to lose the citizenship. Another ugly side is something that, different people could have different opinions about. One thing to have in mind is that just because you own the Dutch passport doesn't automatically mean that you will feel Dutch or feel like you are absolutely welcomed to the society. You guys know that I absolutely love Dutchies. I've had really good experiences with Dutchies, but also bear in mind that just because you're a citizen doesn't mean that you'll be welcomed. You can hear situations like, oh, where are you from? And I say, oh, I am Dutch. Be like, yeah, but where are you originally from? Stuff like that. And I don't see that as a bad question. I do feel that a lot of people are curious and they ask this question out of curiosity. What I'm trying to say is, by virtue of the way I look, which is not typish Netherlands, which is not typical Dutch, I would say someone could question like, where am I originally from? So it brings this feeling of, okay, I have a Dutch passport, I am naturalized and I am part of the Dutch community on paper, but in reality, am I really Dutch? I don't know if that makes sense, but that is also an ugly side. And it's not just about the Netherlands, it's an ugly side of obtaining a citizenship of another country through naturalization. In so many cases, you will always be seen as a foreigner. So this is another side. in my opinion, I wish it wasn't completely that way. I wish that once you get your passport, you can completely immerse in a culture, especially in a case where you have to renounce the citizenship that you already have. So it's like you have to give up whatever culture that you already have to be able to be part of this culture. So it's going to be, you know, weird and awkward if you've given up that culture just to be in the Netherlands and still feel for the rest of your life like a foreigner. Is like, where do you belong? Anyway, this brings us back to the question, is Dutch citizenship worth it? Okay, now this question is definitely an open question, and I would like to know in the comment section, having mentioned all these benefits and also the other side of being a Dutch citizen, let me know in the comment section if you think it is worth it. In my humble opinion, I think it really depends on who is asking. Now, if you are from a country where you do not share so much ties to that country, or you feel like what you have to gain from the Netherlands, especially if you're looking at the good side, is much more beneficial to you than the bad or the ugly side, then for sure, then the Dutch citizenship is definitely worth it for you. If you are from a country that is equally wealthy, or if you're from a country that you really do not want to give up the citizenship, then maybe the Dutch citizenship is not worth it in your own case. So in my opinion, is a case-by-case situation. Okay, so guys, yeah, this is the end of this video. Thank you guys once again for watching. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing. It will mean so much to me. Thank you guys once again, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.